Okay guys, today we are talking about constellations. A constellation is a group of stars, a collection of stars that form a pattern in the sky. Greek astronomers used these groups of stars to tell stories, and they named them after people from myths or from animals. And they used the sky like a storybook to tell stories about the different animals and people who they said were in the sky as constellations. So as we know, the Earth is always rotating on an axis, and that's going to change how we see the sky throughout the night. So the stars that you see at the beginning of night, right after sunset, are going to be different than the stars that you see at midnight, and those are going to look different than the stars that you see at dawn. It's like almost as if the stars are moving across the sky, except we know that the stars aren't moving, we're the ones moving as we rotate on Earth's axis. In that same way, the stars that we see throughout the year change because of us orbiting or revolving around the sun. So if this is the sun and this is us, if we're here in the summer and then we orbit around and we're here in the winter, we're going to see different skies. So when we're here, we're going to see all the stars over here on this side of us, and those are going to be different than the stars that we see over here in winter, and that's because we're moving around the sun. Now there are stars that are located about here that we can see throughout the year, whether it's summer, fall, winter, spring, we're going to see them. So I'm going to tell us about a few constellations that we can see in the sky. This is Cygnus. This is the Greek word for swan, and this is a constellation that we can see through summer and autumn. And the story of Cygnus is that there were two friends who were using Pegasus to race chariots across the sky. And they flew too high, and their chariots got too close to the sun and they melted. The two friends fell back to Earth. One friend landed in a tree and was completely fine, and the other friend landed in a river and was unconscious. The friend who was totally fine was super worried about his friend, and he didn't know how to swim. So he begged Zeus, the god of the sky, to turn him into a swan so he could go and save his friend. Zeus was very impressed with this man's bravery, so he granted him that wish and turned him into a swan. And he dove into the river and saved his friend. When they were out of the river, Zeus was so in awe of their friendship that he turned the man back from a swan back into a man. After he died, Zeus put him into the sky as the swan to show everyone about his bravery and his friendship. This is the constellation of Orion. We can see Orion in the winter and autumn. And Orion is a hunter. So you can see this is his legs, this is his body, this is his arm holding a sword, and this is his arm holding a bow. So Orion was a super strong and brave guy. And he was a very, very, very skilled hunter. So one of the Greek kings had his land was being attacked by all these monsters, and he asked Orion to come and kill all the monstrous beasts that were attacking his kingdom. No one thought he could do it, but he did, and he saved the entire kingdom. After that, Orion claimed that he could kill anything, any monster, any beast, he could kill it all. And that really upset Gaia, the goddess of animals. It made her really not happy. So she made a giant scorpion and sent that scorpion after Orion. And Orion and the scorpion battled to the death. Both of them ended up dying in this battle. So Gaia, the earth goddess, the goddess of animals, she put both Orion and the scorpion in the sky. Orion is in the winter sky and the scorpion is in the summer sky. So that way they're always chasing each other and always battling each other. The last one I'm going to tell you about is the constellation of Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is a star in the northern sky, and we can see this constellation all year. So Cassiopeia was married to King Cephas, so she was a queen. And she was very, very beautiful, and she would boast about her beauty all the time. And she even started telling people that she was more beautiful than all the mermaids in the sea. And this upset the mermaids, and they went and told the sea god Poseidon, and he sent a sea monster after Cassiopeia and King Cephas. Now during this, they went and talked to an oracle who told them to sacrifice their daughter Andromeda to the sea monster, and that would save them. So they did. And they tied Andromeda to a rock in the middle of the ocean and just hoped that the monster ate her and not them. Now Perseus, the monster slayer, just happened to be going by, and he found Andromeda before the monster did, saved her life, and killed the monster. They fell in love. But this made the other men of the kingdom really upset. So they all decided they wanted to go and fight Perseus. And so it was Perseus versus like 50 guys, and there seemed to be no way that Perseus could win. But Perseus had just battled a different monster named Medusa, who could turn people into stone when they looked at her. And he had her head hidden in the bag, so he took out that head, and it turned everyone there into stone, including King Cephas and Queen Cassiopeia. After this, Poseidon put both of them into the night sky as constellations as a punishment for them boasting about Cassiopeia's beauty and for sacrificing their daughter Andromeda to a sea monster. So that is her punishment. And during half of the year, her constellation is turned upside down, and that is part of her punishment. Okay guys, so you have a worksheet to do about constellations. So I hope you thought this was really interesting and cool, and enjoy doing your worksheet.